What if this month or the next 4 weeks is asking you not to push harder, but to clear what's in the way? In this Shadow Tarot reading, we're uncovering the blocks slowing your progress, where they come from, and how you can release them so your energy, your purpose, and your path can move freely again. Hi everyone, I'm Heather and this is Dogstar Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the pack. Today's reading is a monthly Shadow Tarot reading for the collective, focused on clearing blocks, the internal patterns, the fears, and the protective mechanisms that quietly stall your momentum. This reading is for those of you who feel like you've been doing the work, you've been setting the intentions, and you've been showing up, but there's something that still feels heavy, delayed, or stuck. Shadow work helps us to understand not what's wrong, but what's in the way and why it formed in the first place. We'll be working with 7 cards in this reading, and I encourage you to stay until the end because the final cards reveal how to move forward with clarity and empowered action once these blocks begin to clear for you. This is an invitation to release what no longer serves, what no longer needs to be carried, and create space for forward momentum. So take a breath, set an intention for this month, and let's see what the cards reveal. I'm going to give the cards one more shuffle before I start laying them out. And for those of you who would like to know, I am using the Tarot of the Shadow Realm. Okay, so this first card here represents your surface struggle. This card here represents, I'm just going to make sure that they're in the camera. Okay, this card here represents your root wound. This card here represents your protective pattern. Okay, and this card here represents, just making sure they're in the screen. Okay, so this card here represents your hidden fear. This card here represents your unclaimed power. This card here is your healing path. I'm going to have to move these up so you can see them. Okay, and this final card here represents your empowered action. Okay. Okay, so as we start here, we have our first card here, which represents our surface struggle, and you have the Page of Coins. So some of this this is the challenge or frustration that continues to show up in your work, purpose, or direction. And with it being a page in the Page of Coins, it looks like it's always either what's the challenge or frustration that's always showing up is either the lack of opportunities that present to you, or the inability for something that you do to move forward, that there's no progression, that you stay stuck in the page state at the beginning state. So the advancement isn't there, or the opportunity for growth is not there in your current career or purpose or your direction. Or for others of you, it's like you're always starting over. You're just never finding the right path for you. So you're constantly like changing direction and changing jobs or changing your alignment that you are in with this Page of Coins. And then as we move into the root wound, you have the Empress. So I'm going to tell you right now that early experience, the belief or the conditioning that originally created this block is lack of worth. It's that you're feeling unworthy. Okay, like you don't feel like you deserve that opportunity. The Empress is all about planting seeds, nurturing them, and letting them grow. So, in some way in your childhood, and I'm not saying you had bad parents or anything like that, we all do the best we can as parents, but in some way you weren't nurtured, you were neglected in some kind of way, and that led to not feeling like you are worthy of the opportunities that come in. So your subconscious then self-sabotages them. So there is that growth doesn't happen, or you have to keep jumping ship because you're just not finding the right fit and the right alignment for you. The protective pattern that you have developed from this, the coping strategy that you have that protects you and that but it limits your growth is this cocooning with the Four of Swords, that you isolate yourself. So either you're not making the networking that you need in order to get that growth and advancement in the workplace you're in, or you cocoon it and shield yourself. And if opportunities do start to happen, that could also be when you're jumping ship and you're changing jobs, or you're somehow talking yourself out of those opportunities as well with that Four of Swords. You can take this protective pattern though and kind of turn it into a little bit of a strength if you can flip the switch on that and flip the script and make it where instead of cocooning, as you take those periods of solitude and you cocoon, you reflect as well. And you can recognize that this pattern is happening and then look at what the root cause and root wound is for that. Now, the next card here is your hidden fear. And your hidden fear is the Ace of Swords. And swords is mental energy, it's communication. You feel like your ideas, so your hidden fear is really, what are you afraid will happen if you fully release this block and move forward? You are afraid that your ideas won't be accepted. You feel like when you speak, you're going to look like a fool. And that is what the fear is it's a fear of being judged, a fear of your ideas being judged, your words being judged, and not trusting yourself too, and having faith in yourself and your own ideas and your own communication and your own knowledge. And that is what's blocking you and preventing you from moving forward. And then your unclaimed power. This is the strength, the gift, or the authority that you've been withholding that now wants to really be expressed. And this is the Ten of Cups. This couldn't be a more better card for you, especially with these fears of being judged and being recognized and being seen and feeling unworthy. Because cups is our intuition, cups is our emotions, and it's our connections with others. And this is the 10. It's you have the ability to really connect with other people, but you're not using it. You have the intuition to help guide you. It's there. You're not using it because of that fear, because of the hidden fear, because of the root wound, and it's blocking you in that protective pattern. And it is time for you to embrace that. You have this ability to make others feel valued and seen and heard and worthy. And it's now time to do that for you and do that for yourself here with this unclaimed power. And your healing path here, you have, it could be a better card for this. You have the High Priestess. The healing path is the mindset, the practice or support that helps you to dissolve this block with compassion. And you have the High Priestess. This is trusting that higher wisdom, not the stuff, the information and knowledge and wisdom that comes from a sheet of paper and from books. It comes from that intuition. It comes from that inner divine spark that we all have and that inner divine guidance and trusting that. And again, so if you can take that protective pattern and flip it into being a reflective time for you where you can embrace and connect with your intuition, that is where you're going to heal and begin to heal and dissolve this block with compassion. This give yourself grace. It is time for that. And this final card is the empowered action. So what aligned step allows you to clear this block and reclaim momentum in your purpose? Two of Coins. This is about multitasking, taking on many projects at once. So this is you really embracing challenges and multiple challenges to really see where your skills are, where you can shine. And that is the empowered action that you can take when the opportunity comes. Even if there's some fear there, give yourself the grace, give yourself the compassion. You hear that negative self-talk, shut it down and replace the script with something that's more positive. Like, you can do this. Make those affirmations. I am worthy. I do deserve this opportunity. So rather than cocooning yourself and letting those opportunities slip by. You're going to be embracing them, even if it means you're embracing more than one this month. And that is what I have for you. As you close out this reading, take a moment to reflect on what block stood out the most and the clearing path and empowered action offered for this month. Clearing blocks doesn't mean forcing change. It means gently removing what no longer serves your energy so you can move naturally again. Thank you for being here, for doing this work, and for running with the pack. I'm Heather, and this is Dogstar Astrology and Tarot, and I will see you in the next reading.